Yes, 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 exactly.
So, So, jumping into the Mama Stories anthology, which a lot of you hopefully know that that's a book that came out last year, and we've been actually this year, and we've been talking about it all year. We'll probably continue to talk about it into next year. And so, Tommy, what made you decide to jump on to the project and be a part of it?
Woo, you. But honestly, I met you and learned, your background. I am a English major by, my major. I am an English literature major. And when you started to describe your new project, you talked about the process. You talked about the one-on-one coaching, the group coaching sessions. You talked about bringing on guest authors, and I'm going to say guest celebrities. And I got excited. I was like, "Ooh, that sounds fun." So I've always had a thing for writing. I've always had a thing for reading. And it just I was like, I think I want to do this. I think I want to do this. And in the group that we met in, I still saw you as instructor and a creative instructor, and the way that you would um, describe things, or how suggest how we could put things together. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. And then I think I looked through a magazine here in Charlotte, and I saw your picture a couple of times. I said, yeah, I think I'm gonna join her project.
Wow, you never really know. I don't think I knew all of that, until now.
Mm.
So it's kind of cool to hear all of the pieces and components that led us to be able to work together, which I'm so glad that we did.
Mhm.
Because it's funny, I remember when we did work together in the past in another program,
Mhm.
I felt like a kindred spirit with you, the way you come across creatively through your outfits, through your hair, and I'm like, I see, yeah, she's interested in creating a business, but I also see this creative
Mhm.
theme in there that I could really connect with because we sort of had that similarity, I feel,
Mhm.
or the kindred spirit, like I said before.
Exactly, exactly.
So once we got into the Mama Stories project and we, were meeting regularly and um, people were talking about what they wanted to do, what what was the spark that led you to write the story that you decided to write? And tell us a little bit about that story,
Okay.
and what led you to get to that.
Okay, so let's see. Mama stories. I have always said that I wanted to leave something behind for others to remember my family by. And I wanted to pay tribute to my mother. And but then I also thought about another woman that helped raise me, and that was my aunt. So Daisy Banks, which was my mother, and Cora Banks Mack, better known as Coco. That's the name that I dubbed her. Um, I said, "Oh my goodness, what better way to pay tribute to what they instilled in me?" And I was raised in a house that we went to church. My father was a minister and a pastor, and I thought about the things that we did that really centered around church, and Easter was a big thing. So in my story, I talk about my mom. She was a military Air Force captain, and she took charge of, okay, what we're gonna wear, and how it was gonna play out. And my aunt took care of the hair and the food for the season, and we all got ready for this big day at church. And so I said, "Oh my goodness, that really it will really how can I say their characters, their personality could really be depicted in this story, who they were, what they did, and also to tell they actually were friends. They were friends, and how how their contributions to their family, to the community, how it helped me and what it instilled in me to make me the person that I am today. Okay, did I hit all the points?
Think you did. So, because what's interesting about it is they weren't related. They were related through your
Mm,
dad, right?
exactly, exactly, exactly.
And
So
so, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was special. It was they really um hit it off and became friends, and one looked out for the other, those type things. That was the friendship that they had. I think my mother worked started working third shift. And so, at the younger we were, we stayed with Coco. And then, and it changed as time went on, but she helped me with my homework. She taught me how to cook. All of those little things. And mommy took me shopping and told me basically always be dressed for the party.
Which, as we can see, you are tonight as well. So,
Woo, okay.
I love it. I love it. Um,
Thank you.
so one of the things that you mentioned also in your piece was there's some Charlotte history that you touched on. So I didn't think that was also a part of your story. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, my family, especially my father's side, they grew up in Brooklyn. And I know that, people that are here now or that grew up in Charlotte, they remember hearing about, or maybe have even experienced the Black community of Brooklyn and Charlotte. And I say uptown Charlotte. My family lived on South Davidson Street. So I did a little digging, little research to find out exactly where. My aunt worked in Aunt Coco. She was a partner in um, a beauty shop. She was a cosmetologist, and she was also the first entrepreneur that I knew. Um, the churches that they attended were in Brooklyn. Um, the I'm trying to get the nurse, not the my mother and my aunt, not Aunt Coco, but my Aunt Hazel. They worked at Good Samaritan, which was the Black hospital where the Panther Stadium stands now. All of these things were a part of Brooklyn and a part of their community and their journey. And I put it in there because that was their life. And I think it helped to make my story more robust.
I would agree. It was not
Hmm.
only was it a mama story, and it was
Hmm.
unique because you talked about how two mamas
Hmm.
um impacted you and how that helps you, help propel you forward. And then you also gave us a little bit of a slice of life, a slice of Charlotte life.
Hmm.
And so, I remember you had the one section where you're talking about the hair and the types of curls and things of that
Hmm.
nature. So it really was a slice of history.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
I want to remember. I want others to remember they were real people. They helped build Charlotte communities.
Mm. And one thing that you mentioned that I just wanted to touch on, because that's something that I don't think that a lot of people um recognize, how a lot of Black churches in those days were formed under grape arbors.
Yes.
And so it's like I wonder, and I know there's probably someone who has done a research project or has
Hmm.
talked more about the significance of that. But
Hmm.
all right, my mom also told me about the church in my hometown was also started under a grape arbor. So I'm like, what
Oh,
idea?
yeah,
What's the deal in
that's
these
all
grape?
we had, and we had to steal away
Uh-huh.
to praise our God.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
wonder what was it that the grape arbor could hide people or something? Was it that thick? Because I've never. seen, I've never really
Mhm,
seen an actual
mhm.
grape arbor other than, maybe something on Martha Stewart, but I've never seen a grape
That's a
arbor.
good question. I think we might need to research that.
Yeah.
All I know is that that's where they met. That's where the church started.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's
It's
good.
that's
That's good.
amazing. And that could be another story about, later on down the line. So,
Exactly, exactly. Uh,
so, oh, were you going to say something?
I said, good thought, good thought.
Yeah, thanks.
Mhm.
So, I want to move into sort of how you became the what I call the art director for our cover. You did a lot of the promo pieces. Can you share a little bit about, I don't know, the vision that you had for helping with the promo pieces? I know that was like early on. And for those of you listening in and or watching, by promo pieces, I mean, um, Tommy created the design of the I guess what we call collateral, or the marketing pieces that were used to bring people in or entice people to join the project. And then later on became the person who created our cover and did some of the other marketing pieces for after the book was created. So you want to share a little bit about that with the people, as they say?
So your marketing assets for Mama Stories, honestly, with the assets, the graphic assets, the video assets, I listened to what you said, and I have known you for a little while, so I have peeped a little bit of your style, things that you like. So I saw something that was it was clear, it wasn't too flashy, but it was classy. And I said, I think that this would really work. It would stand out, and all of the authors, the co-authors with those professional pictures, that it would fit, and then we could use that as the theme for our marketing piece and the promos, and I think it flowed.
It was beautiful. In fact, I'm thinking about adopting the whole concept for my for everything I do. It's just I'm gonna have to hire you for some more work
Okay.
later.
So I just thought it was nice. Not too clunky, not too flashy, but classy. I thought it was a little classy.
Yeah, and so for everyone, you know what, I'm gonna, since I happen to have the book right here,
Okay.
if I can
Yes, I love
show
it.
it up so everyone can see. Yeah, there we go. You can see the the there's J, I think it's called a Jele,
Mhm.
um, or for those of us that don't know that word, head wrap. Um, you can see pull it back a little bit. You can see that the head wrap has pictures of women in it, and the artwork was done by Mary Sanders, oh,
Mhm.
aka Mahogany Mary. And we've already spoken with Mary earlier, but so these were the pieces that Mary did that we also used in the promos. And
Mhm.
then Tommy put them together, and when I saw it, I cheered up. I was like, this is this is exactly what I had envisioned. And I didn't even know, that that was going to be the vision, but this is what I would have wanted to do if I was a graphic designer. So that's a
Beautiful.
graphic designer that you want to work with. Some, like you said, it's like somehow or another, what I am thinking.
Oh my
And
goodness.
that is a skill, that to have. So we were blessed and highly favored to be able to
Yes.
have uh an artist that was one of our participants, and also
Mhm.
a graphic designer with vision in our group as well, and also some mini marketers, people that were,
Mhm.
that gave ideas and
Mhm.
have done things to help us. And so it's been a great collaboration. So I've,
Exactly.
been great.
Been
So
having fun.
yes, exactly. If Tommy, what do you think was, and you kind of already touched on that though. But here, let me ask you this one. What is something that you may have learned about yourself during this process?
Let's see. That there's I don't know. God is still blessing me with creativity. Really he is. I'll share this, when you called and we were discussing my participation in creating the cover. I honestly I feel like God gave me a download just as we were speaking, because when we hung up the phone, I knew what I wanted. I guess the silhouette of a woman that encompasses a mama, to me anyway. And then to put all of those pieces, because everyone's mother is different, and that's what I wanted to portray or depict in that head wrap, in that cover art. So I get to answer your question again, that my creativity is evolving, and I was like, wow, that really came together. It really
Yeah.
came together. And the I think I already said this, but the transparency of the woman herself, so that anybody can envision their mother. It's just not just one look, it's not just one person, not just one type, one character type. She could be any mother, all of our mothers, all of our mamas. Hmm.
Exactly. Yes,
Mhm.
exactly what you said. Well, they say that part or what she said, most definitely.
Exactly.
So that's it exactly. And I want to ask you if you achieved any type of transformation um as a result of working with me in this process, maybe with with your writing or with understanding anything, if it's not writing, but any type of transformation after working with me in this project.
Transformation. Let's see. Maybe two things. My fear level decreased. You encouraged me, you applauded my work. I don't like to sound, look, talk like everyone else. So it was nice. It was um it was comforting for you to reassure me or confirm my writing style, that it was okay to write like this. And I didn't have to sound like you. I didn't have to sound like, other authors. The second piece to that was oh my goodness, the creativity. What happened when you all came and supported me for Mama Stories at the Mother's Day brunch for Rita Memorial? They asked me to add a creative piece, and I, I don't know where that came from, but so the audience would know. Basically, what I did was I made the characters, the pictures that Mary Sanders drew, I made them come to life. I made them jump off the page and in person. And it was more than I had expected. Mary stepped in and she actually gave us the story behind each one of those art pieces. And then to bring out the colors and the looks, and they were standing before the people, I was like, oh, okay, this is nice. So the creativity just, it really did grow. Um, Not only with what you taught us to um, our writing style and what we do. I have other ideas. I want to do something else with my mama stories now. That's in book form. So
Excellent.
just thinking and growing, taking that project and making it live. I was here, I was a part of, and that makes me happy.
Yes. And I just want you and I've talked about this, so it won't be a surprise, but we will be taking the show on the road to a certain extent. Um, Probably at
Oh,
the
goodness.
beginning of the year. So we'll everyone stay tuned for more on that.
It was nice. It was
it
nice.
was it was amazing. It was amazing. So it's like some collaborations are just natural.
Mhm.
They don't really take a lot of effort, and I think, you know, working with you is one of those types of collaborations. So I look forward to working with you in the future
Thank
on that.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
And then finally, what is one piece of advice you would give to a woman or anyone who maybe they're a would-be writer, a would-be creative, like what's a piece of advice that you would like to give to someone in this process or related?
Um, your story, and like I say in my business to my clients, your story is gold. It's unique to you and it needs to be heard. Don't be afraid to share your voice, your feelings, because as I'm growing on my journey, what others present is going to help somebody. It's going to help me. It's going to encourage them. It's going to reinforce what they already been thinking. It's going to give them a roadmap. It's going to make the way clearer so that they can get to the end of the tunnel or find the light in their life. And maybe it'll just make somebody smile. Maybe it'll make someone laugh. Maybe it'll lift a heartache. Um, I say do, and I say all those things because not just with mama stories, but when I write, I'm free. When I read, I learn. It makes me a better person. I get better understanding. And I'm gonna be quiet now, before just talking too much.
It's like, wow, okay, no,
Oh,
that's
yes.
fabulous. Good words, good
Yes.
words. Wonderful. Well, Tomi, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your participation in the Mama Stories. And if someone wants to reach out to you to be inspired with your graphic design talents and your digital producer talents, how can they reach you? What's the best way for them to reach you?
So they can go to my website, tbankscreative.com. They can reach me by email at info@tbankscreative.com. And they can also find me on Instagram at tbankscreative.
Okay, wonderful.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I want to give a little plug as well because I am, as we're getting close to the end of the year, I am going to be working with individual clients who might want to work on something, a story or some type of writing piece work. Um, and I'm calling it From Your Heart to the Page, which actually goes back to years ago when I first started. And I'm like, yeah, when I first started offering things, but I want to connect back to that because that's a good way to help people get
Mm,
that story. Because a lot of times we have something in our brain, something
mhm,
in our mind, something in our heart. And like you said, maybe you're not sure um,
mhm.
whether it's worth continuing or worth um, putting on the page. And so you just need somebody to help guide you in that direction to help you see, okay, yes, this is something that needs to be shared, and here's how you can share it. So
That's awesome.
that's my little plug. But everyone, thank you for joining us this evening, and have a wonderful day. Keep writing, keep smiling, keep being free.
Thank you.